Welcome back to the podcast. Today I have with me my coach, Jackie Dragone. She is a business and brand mentor, and I am so excited to have her here to talk with me today. So, Jackie, introduce yourself.
Yes. Hi, everyone. Tara, thank you so much for having me. As Tara said, I'm a business and a brand mentor, and I really help entrepreneurs anywhere from year 1 to 5, sort of in the beginning-ish stages, create foundations in your business so that you're going to make consistent sales and also go deeper into the brand and the messaging, because that's the thing that is going to lead you to standing out, to help you to make more sales, and to keep you tapped into your vision for what it is that you're
Mhm.
bringing into this world.
Yes, and I absolutely love that. I mean, that's why I've worked with you for so long, and we've been working together for over a year now, and we're
Yes.
going to continue working together
Yes.
for
Amazing.
probably ever. But
Yes. I love it. I'm here for it. Let's go.
yeah,
We're
because
lifers.
yeah, exactly. So don't retire ever, or
No.
I also have to, I guess.
Oh my gosh, you're so funny.
Anyway, so w- what I really wanted to talk about today, and something that I think we kind of both touch on in a little bit different ways, is what people are really missing in business at
Hmm.
like a foundational level.
Hmm.
Because we see all of these things online and what we're supposed to do for business, but
Yeah.
there's so many little things that people are missing. So you tell me, what do you see that like most people are missing in order to actually get them the results that they're wanting?
Yes. Number one is actually taking the time to build a community and to build relationships with your audience. It
Hmm.
can look really easy on social media. Like, okay, I post every day and I sell in my stories. And because of that, I'm going to have a viable, successful business. But really, relationship capital and community capital is the thing that's going to make you sales. And people don't teach this and they don't tell you about it because they're not sharing with you the full picture of like what they did in the beginning versus what
Yeah.
they're doing now. Like once you have an established brand, yeah, maybe then you can be like, all right, I'm going to post content, I'm going to make stories, I'm going to run paid ads, and I'm making a lot of money. But that is not how most people start out. And I really think we need to fill the gap for people in their business in year like 1 to 5 in how they're actually going to gain momentum and traction in making money.
Yes. Yeah. And I so agree because it's funny. I've seen a number of things, and this has been over the years. I mean, this has been going on forever. I'm almost at 4 years. Well, I am at 4 years of being an entrepreneur,
Hmm.
and it's
Yeah.
been the whole time where it's just like post on social media and people will just come to you. And like, that is not how this works. Like, that's
Yeah.
never been how this works. And you do building relationships is so important. And even in what I do with like setting up systems and stuff, you can have systems, but there's still setting up the system of personal follow-up on the back end. Like that's part of it as well because it's so huge.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, relationships are everything. And there's so many like missed opportunities or like ships passing in the night because somebody comes to something once and then you don't pay attention to the fact that like they came because they're interested in your business, right? There's an
Mhm.
opportunity to follow up, to build a relationship, to invite them to your free community, to make sure they're in. And then if they take action from there, great, they're still interested. If they don't, okay, maybe it's not going to happen, but understanding that that is part of what it takes to build out your client roster in the beginning.
Absolutely. And I also think it's a thing where it's kind of gotten this like bad rap, the whole like follow up and DMing people, because we've all gotten those DMs where it's like, I actually just had one where this guy would not stop DMing me. And he's like, oh, hey, didn't you get my last message? Like, I'm still waiting for you to respond. How is your business? Blah, blah. And I know he just wants to sell me his coaching. And I'm like, I don't know you. Like, I don't want to talk to you. That's why I'm not responding. And I didn't say that,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
like, that's why I'm not responding. And
Yeah.
we're not talking about building relationships in that way. It's like talking to people like a normal person. Like,
Exactly. It's just like you would talk to somebody in real life. Like I always give the example. First of all, I probably have the same guy in my DMs because I always get them and
probably.
I'm like, what in the world is happening? Number
Yeah.
two, it's like when I was working in fitness, like before and after class, the whole time was spent getting to know the people in the class and building a relationship. And I
Mhm.
wasn't saying, are you going to come back to my class next week? That's not what I was saying to them. I was like, how was your workout today? How do you feel? Do you have any questions? What are you doing tonight? Like literally, I was just getting to know the people. And
Yeah.
that's like why I sold out my classes. And that's why I always have like been promoted to leadership positions because I go the extra step and it's just the extra step of building a relationship and it goes a long way.
Yeah, it so does. And I feel like
Mhm.
I I know exactly what you're talking about because when I worked at the running room as the manager there for a number of years, and I actually built up their run club to like way more than it was before. And it was
Yeah.
the same thing. It was just
Yeah.
building relationships with people so that they would want to come back. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't anything crazy or hard or whatever, but it's just normal conversation. So,
Yeah.
and especially like when someone is interested in what you're doing,
Yeah.
this isn't like cold DMing someone.
Right, exactly. It's just following up and saying hi and thanks for coming. Like I literally just hosted a master class and before we got on the call, I was like following up with people that came. Like, thanks for coming
Mhm.
today. It's great to have you there. Like any questions, let me know.
Exactly. And no one gets offended by that. I think that this is the other thing. Like,
No.
no one's like, why are you messaging me?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I really don't think so either. I think that there's such a difference between cold DMs and relationship building.
Totally.
Yeah.
And it's huge. I think a lot of people too appreciate it because there are so many times when, you think about signing up for the huge master classes with like the big business gurus and stuff.
Mhm.
How many times has someone followed up with you after that? Probably never.
Yeah. No, never.
And if you can go that extra mile and actually be like, "Oh, hey, like what was your biggest takeaway from the masterclass today? Like, was there anything, that really stood out to you or whatever?" Like, people really appreciate that. They wanted to be there. So it's totally normal if you message them.
Yeah. I think it's like the vibe that you want in your community too. I think it comes down to that. Like for me, I like community and I like people to feel like there's not really a separation between myself and them. There's like no
Yeah.
pedestal here. Like I want to be in it with you. Like it's kind of the feeling that I would get if I were to meet Mel Robbins or, someone like that or Brene Brown. I think they have this way about them that I wouldn't feel like I couldn't ask them things. Like I would feel a certain level
Mhm.
of comfort but I would also see them as an authority. And that's the balance that I strive for in my business. And I think part of that is like breaking the third wall and starting conversations with people and saying like, hey, I'm here. Like I'm a real human that you're talking to. And that's not how everyone's brand is. I think that's okay. Like I went to an event last year and the woman that hosted the event was incredible, but she didn't like mix and mingle with us at the event very much. It was very much like I'm the brand and this is the event and like I'm going to stay over here. I'm sure she was like busy running things behind on the back end too. But I think it just depends a little bit as well on like what is the feel that you're going for. Like if I was to host an
Mhm.
event with like 1,000 people or hundreds of people, I wouldn't want to feel like here's me and here's the event. I would want there to be some like Oprah feels like kind of integrated in her people, right? I want there to be
Yeah.
some kind of connection.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, for someone that is just getting into this, like,
Mhm.
what would you suggest would be a really good community building thing that they should do? Like, where should they start?
Yeah, if you're just starting out in your business, I would say, first of all, you need to really be specific with exactly the problem you're solving. What is the value that you're bringing to the table? With that, honestly, a part of me wants to say, and this is like the unpopular opinion, but I want to say, first of all, have some kind of a community, whether it's your email list, your Facebook group, a broadcast channel, or that you're directing people to. Second of all, I would be getting on calls with
Mm-hmm.
people. I would be getting on, dare I say, a sales call, a connection call, an audit
Yep.
call. I would understand how to speak to the person on that call to show them the gap between where they're at, where they want to go. And then I would sell them a higher ticket service with an optional downsell. So it would be like a 3 to 6 month one-on-one with an option for a 1 month intensive if they say it's too expensive. So I would have like a high ticket offer with a downsell option, and I would get 10, 15, 20 people on a call a month, if not more, and just
Mm-hmm.
start there. But don't start there in the sense of you're just selling that offer on social media. Like, put these people in a community, nurture them, do a free
Yep.
masterclass, voice memo them daily, talk to them, then offer the free audit call that's in 30 minutes to an hour, and then sell them on the back end after they can see like you're a human and you're bringing value. That is exactly what I would do if I was just starting over. In fact, sometimes I think about just bringing my business model back to only that because it's
Mm-hmm.
quite simple, you know? So, like, I have that thought sometimes, what business model do I want long term? Because holding space for 10 to 15, like, really amazing clients one on one is super effective as a business model.
Yeah.
It can be scalable. It can be if you want it to be, you know, but I also like the masses. So I like teeter totter, but like, this is the way I would get money into your business if you're just starting out.
Yeah. And that's exactly how I love to do it too. Although so many people are like, don't give away so much for free, don't do free calls, blah, blah, blah. I love it. And I have done them for so long and they convert really well. And I
Mm-hmm.
know you've had the same experience. Like when you can actually get on a call and truly help someone, that's how you're going to convert people into clients because you're
Yeah.
showing that you can help them.
Yeah.
You're not just like talking out of your ass like so many people. Like we see a lot of people online that promise things and don't follow through. This
Yeah.
is a way to show you know what you're doing. You get
Yeah.
on a call with someone and you like
Yeah.
walk them through how to do something. You
Yeah.
give them somewhat something tangible.
Yeah.
And I think that it's like this is such a missed opportunity and so many people don't want to put work into it, but like
Mm-hmm.
there's so much benefit that can come out of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So much benefit. And you can wait for your content to do the selling for you all day long, or you can use
Mhm.
your content to build a free community and then nurture that free community and sell to them directly. And I've done this so many times that I know that number two is going to get you a faster result than number one. If you do not have an established brand, you need to build the business and then the brand. And
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that you don't know what you stand for or what your brand is or what the vibe you bring. You know yourself, you know your values, you know your mission, you know where you want to lead people. But at the same time as that, like, you have to have the business built up in order to have brand recognition.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to have the foundation there
Yeah.
because if you don't have the foundation, you're not going to be able to keep going in your business.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's unfortunately just the way that it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I think that there's like too little emphasis on actually truly how can we provide value because that is what is really going to convert to
Yeah.
clients.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Value is so underrated because I think that what we see online is like a persona of a brand that you have to build to attract people because you want to be this thing that's larger in life and everybody wants to flock to you and
Hmm.
there's this energy around you and like you're just like this big entity, right? So we see so much of that and it's really fucking confusing for people that are newer in business because guess what? That person didn't start like that. They're
Yeah.
5, 10, 15 years into the game to become this like figurehead, if that's what you even want, right?
Yeah.
If that's what you want, and there's no shade, I'm not throwing shade on these people. Some of them I look up to, and I think it's like, wow, holy shit, look at what they built.
Yeah.
But that's not where you start. Like, don't try to be this like big crazy entity or feel like you have to fix or change yourself. Like, know the value that you bring, know
Yeah.
why you know your expertise, know your story, know your knowledge, know your wisdom, sell that. That's all you have to do and be in the beginning. And sometimes you're forcing it so hard that it's like you're not doing the right things. You're not connecting.
Yeah. Yeah. I absolutely agree. And I wrote down something during the masterclass and I was just like, your business, especially when you start out, like you're not starting a business usually. Like when we think about starting a business, you're not doing that so you get famous. You're not doing that to win a
Hmm.
likes contest. Like you're doing that to bring value to people, to make an impact in their
Hmm.
lives. Like
Hmm.
that's why you're doing this. So you really have to think about like how are you going to do that?
Yeah.
Because a lot of this that we see, especially when you look at those people, which like you said, it's not that that's bad, but it's just that they built this over so much time.
Yeah.
And you can't look at that and think that's where you're going to start.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because bottom line, it is a business and you have to start by running it that way and know how you're also going to make money from it so that you
Hmm.
can continue running it.
Yep. Exactly. Exactly. Spot on.
Yeah. Yes. Amazing. All right. Well, where can everyone find you? Tell me all the things. Where can people
Yes.
connect with you?
Yes, you can find me on Instagram at I am Jackie Dragone. Also on TikTok, which I've loved TikTok lately. I
Mhm.
at I am Jackie Dragone. Or on my podcast, Becoming Wildly Successful. It's available on Apple, Spotify, and a few other platforms, but those are certainly the most popular. So head over to the podcast, give it a listen. There's a ton of business strategy on the podcast for you there. So those would be the top places. Shoot me a message, come listen, and I would love to connect with you.
Amazing. Okay. And for the last thing, what is like the number one thing that you would tell someone to start with when they're very first starting out? Like, what would they start with if they're starting tomorrow in their business?
Yeah.
Or, you know, in terms of like building a community, building relationships, where should they start?
Yeah. Well, people have to know about you for you to have a business. Like that's number one.
Hmm.
So you want to get visible. That's number one is to get visible, but understand why you're getting visible. What do you want to be known for? What's your going to be your signature offer to start with? What's your signature problem that you're solving? I'm not saying you have to put yourself in a box, but you need to start somewhere, get visible and direct people somewhere with this visibility strategy, whether it's to an email list or a free group. Like
Yeah.
don't start with an offer. Don't just go try to sell something. I've seen coaches teach this, and then people in the group fall flat on their face and they're disappointed. And I'm like, well, you didn't teach them step one, which is you need
Yeah.
an audience. You need an audience,
Yep.
step one, right? But don't just go build an audience without knowing like who you want in the audience and the value you're going to bring to them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Amazing. Love it.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me.
Yes. Thank you for
This,
having me. This was super fun. I appreciate it.
yes, amazing. All right. Well, if you are on YouTube, make sure that you like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one.